Thanks for joining us. Now, one person sustained a gunshot wound after police engaged armed robbers in a shootout on the Accra-Kumasi highway. The driver of a Ford Focus with registration number GT 337113 was arrested and detained. Two vehicles believed to have been used in the operation have also been impounded. The incident happened at dawn today at Omenako near Suhum. Eastern Region Police PRO Ebenezer Tete has been telling Joy News how it all happened.
At about 2:30 a.m., police received an information that there was an attack on a 40 trailer that was carrying assorted goods headed for Kumasi. And the highway patrol team quickly proceeded to the scene of crime. That is around Omenako near Suhum. When they got to the scene of crime, they saw that the robbers had come in two separate vehicles. That's the GT 3371 plus 13 and AS 3801 plus 13. These were Sprinter and Ford cars respectively. So their intention was to offload the goods from this trailer onto their vehicles. So immediately they saw the place, they opened fire. So the police also quickly counted them. In the process, one of the robbers, age 17, whose name was given as William Owusu, sustained wounds, and the driver to one of the vehicles, whose name was also given as Manuel Yeboah, were both arrested. As we speak, William Owusu is on guard at the Spring Government Hospital because he is a suspect, and the driver of the vehicle is also in our custody assisting in investigation. The other robbers managed to run away from the scene of crime. So as we speak, we have, declared them wanted, and we are on the manhunt for the other suspected robbers who were able to flee from the scene of crime.
How many men are we looking for, sir?
The information indicates that they were numbering more than 4. So we are looking at 4 or 5 other suspects who are now on the run as we speak. None of our men sustained any gunshot wounds. The
items they were trying to steal, did they make away with these items?
They did not succeed. So as we speak, the vehicle that they came to the scene with, those 2 vehicles that I mentioned, we have impounded both vehicles, and we don't know the source of these vehicles, whether they were hired or they belong to them. But as we speak, these are all subject matter of investigation, and we are looking into the matter.
Now, it has emerged that millions of cedis of NDC campaign funds meant for the 2016 elections were either, quote, pocketed or managed through irregular means. That's according to the Dr. Kwesi Boche election review report intercepted by Joy News. Head of our political desk, Evans Mensah, has more in the following report.
The real reasons why the NDC lost the 2016 election is becoming clearer by the day. The NDC's best-kept secret, the Dr. Kwesi Boche election review report, offers a comprehensive prognosis of some of the burning issues. The committee spoke to several major financiers of the NDC ahead of the 2016 polls. The committee wrote that several financiers held the view that huge amounts were channeled through party executives and parliamentary candidates who seem to have, quote, pocketed monies sent. The committee notes, however, that except in a few cases, no executive admitted to receiving any monies from sources. The conclusion of the committee on this matter is telling. It says, quote, what seemed to be clear was that a large part of the campaign financing was done through channels other than the party regional or constituency treasuries, unquote. The committee was also informed that parliamentary candidates were sometimes invited to Accra to collect campaign money directly. The report revealed that at the time of consultations, many polling agents had still not been paid their allowances. Others, in fact, complained they received reduced amounts. Another startling revelation is the committee's findings that, quote, contrary to popular belief, the party's finances was in a rather powerless state. It recommends that the NDC strictly adheres to provisions in the party's constitution and implement a dues-based regime of party financing.
Now moving on, more concerns begin to emerge about the security of the digital addressing system as IT consultant Stefan Frolik has revealed it is possible to access data users save in the system. He claims he is able to intercept data which is exchanged between apps on smartphones and the main service of Ghana Post GPS by launching what he calls a man-in-the-middle attack. The software engineer therefore advises that government and the app developers withdraw the app from the public domain to sort out these issues, else users' data will be endangered.
So if you look at the way the system is, it's almost an exact copy of Assin GPS, which was an existing solution. In order to convert Assin GPS to work to solve our problem, they needed to apply certain things as well. They didn't do that. So you'll notice that it is really not ready to be used as a full-fledged addressing system due to, again, the data security and data quality issues, especially the data quality issues.
But like you say, anything can be redeemed, and so can this.
Yes, it can. But then they need to give us time. They need to ask for time and go back and redeem the app. They shouldn't ask us to use it in its current form because it endangers us. Let me give you an example of something that occurs. I am able to do what we call a man-in-the-middle attack. That means that I can sit on the network and listen to communications from other people's applications to their servers. That means I can steal people's identification, I can steal people's names and numbers, and that's basically identity theft right there. So if we don't fix these things and we ask people to do it, we're just asking for trouble.
No, Stefan, I need you to break this down for us to understand well. You said that you can listen into others' communications on this app?
So it's called a man-in-the-middle attack. Basically what that means is someone can sit in the middle of, in between the network, between the client app and then the server, and then see what is going on the network. So what you would usually do in an application is you would verify the certificate that you are using to communicate, but the app doesn't do that. So I am able to do that, and that's how I was able to register the account with the wrong numbers, yes. The thing is, you don't need 100 people breaching the app for it to be a problem. All you need is one person to be able to breach. So once you have one person being able to breach, and there are people, if I'm able to do it, and I'm not an a security expert, I'm more of a software engineer, but if I am able to do that, then the security experts out there are doing much worse.
Concerns there raised by Stefan Frolik. Let's hear from a security consultant, Desmond Israel, who says the incidence of mobile money fraud will decrease by 60% if government and telcos apply due diligence and vigilance to the mobile money systems. Currently, 50% of mobile money users have either been defrauded or approached by mobile money fraudsters. This is disturbing, considering the value of mobile money transactions grew from 11.2 billion Ghana cedis in 2014 to 35.4 billion in 2015. Mobile money is being touted as the quickest way to formalize the economy, but Desmond Israel believes proper regulations are needed to make this possible.
I think, and I hold the view again, that the regulators must make provisioning of mobile money service a bit more stringent. Cybercrimes thrives easily on interoperability and convenience. So if it is now easy to access mobile money and it's convenient, and you don't have a regulator ensuring proper KYC on these agents and service agents and the customers, then we could easily have fraud issues along the line of the value chain.
What's KYC?
Know your customer. It's a concept by which you actually do due diligence in the people you entrust the service to. So it's similar to what's happening to the banks when it comes to tellers and even the customers. So before they even open an account for you, you have to draw a geo map of your house and all that. Before you are put in as a teller, they need to do some confidence check on you, check your crime background and all that. That is KYC. Even if you can't do it to the fullest as the banks would do it, once we are following a bank module in a lean manner, we still need to put in some sort of measures to ensure it's too laxed. That's my professional view. It's too laxed.
How much do you think we would save if we applied these principles?
Most likely 60% of what we are losing now will be saved.
Now, he explains the most important safeguards needed for both telcos and regulators are due diligence and vigilance.
I think we need to look at the entire value chain when it comes to mobile money, and that has to do with the people, the process, and the technology that we put in place. Most likely the attacks or the fraud issues that we are having now are more people-based. They are social engineering, issues of scamming, issues of agent malpractice, and the rest. So you need to look at the people in the value chain. So typically, for mobile money, the business process or the logic behind mobile money is actually banking. So you have the subscriber, the agent, and the service provider, which is similar to a customer, the teller, and a bank. So if a bank is under strict regulations because it's managing the user's account, and therefore they need to do KYC on even their customers and the tellers and ensure some level of security, why do we leave mobile money operations ajar? I ask this because you've seen or heard subscribers even saying that your PIN number, your mobile money PIN, is a bank account. So if your mobile money PIN is a bank account, why don't we apply the same level of scrutiny in the people that manage these services? Look at the process involved as well. SIM registration. I tell you something, in India, it's not as easy as it is in Ghana for you to register a SIM. In fact, if you're a foreigner, it's even worse. You need somebody to vouch for you. You need to submit your passport. Your visa must be verified, and you are even given the number based on how long you're going to live in the country. That is the level of scrutiny that we need to put in place when it comes to SIM registration. SIM swap, we say it like it's nothing. So easy to do. There's no education about it. In the process, we don't even know what versions of SIMs we are using, whether we are on version 1, version 2, version 3. We need to let people understand what the dangers of the technology that they are using is, and that is what the process is about. The technology itself has to do with whether you're doing this transaction on USSD or you are doing this transaction on mobile money app. And with these, we have issues to do with encryption. It is possible for an attacker to sniff data. I tell it every now and then in conferences. It is not rocket science. It is easily demonstrated. It's easy for an attacker to spoof SMS messages and send it to you. I can personally spoof an SMS message as a proof of concept and send it to you. So look at it holistically. The people, the process, and the technology. How do we solve the problem? With the people, you're looking at vigilance and due diligence. With the process, we're still looking at vigilance, due diligence, and regulations. In fact, in addition to that, internal policies to ensure some level of protection for the subscribers and even the service provider. Mind you, we've not even gotten to the stage where we are doing technology attacks. If we were doing technology attacks, the service providers will be the one crying, because it is their platform that the attacks will be based on. Malwares will be directed to them. Today, it's the people that are suffering, and therefore, it seemed not to be really, a service provider issue. But I mean, I stand to be corrected, but I take a different view that the service providers, the regulators, have more to play than we are even looking at it as it stands now. If we provision an agent, how much do we know about them? If a customer is going to deal with an agent, and there is an issue of fraud, and it is reported, can we track? Or we're going to have a situation where we are going to say that, well, the fraud was committed on the SIM that is not properly registered, and we feel comfortable with that. That is how cybercrime thrives. We must all be involved, both regulators, service providers, players, consumers, or customers for that matter. We must all be involved.
This is news today on Joy News. In a quick recap, more startling revelations have been indicated, and the NDC have been indicated in the Professor Kwesi Botwe report. And still to come, Roads and Highway Ministry to pay contractors working on the Sofo Line Interchange project over $23 million outstanding debt. We'll be back soon. Stay tuned in. Welcome back. Now, the Roads and Highways Ministry is promising payment of outstanding debts to contractors working on the Sofo Line Interchange in Kumasi. Work on the reconstruction of the Sunyani Corridor Road has stalled for over 3 years due to government's failure to honor certificates totaling over $23 million. Roads Minister Akwesi Amwakwanta blames the former government for unduly delaying the project. Ohiming Terra reports.
The Sofolai Interchange project, which started in 2007, is 10 years behind schedule. The 100% Government of Ghana funded project is about 74% complete. The 5 main components include widening of the Komfanochi Hospital Ebuakwa Road and construction of an interchange at Kath and Sofolai. It also involves construction of 5 underpass bridges along the road. Lack of funds and non-payment of compensation to property owners who were affected by the project have stalled execution of the project. This means 170 workers of the construction firm receive salaries for work not done. Motorists and commuters have been left to their fate as they battle vehicular traffic common at the Komfanochi Hospital Boogie Supermarket and the Patrapa Ebuakwa sections of the road. Project consultant Kwaku Buafo told the Roads Minister the major issue confronting the project is lack of funds.
The original design was taking care of all those things. In fact, there were no traffic lights, but we were going to take pedestrians across. For example, in front of the university, the students were going to come under the road to the other side of the road. And because those things have not been done, we couldn't do them. It's now a problem. But we have taken remedial measures. In fact, we have...
They have not been done because you are saying they were not part of the original
scope. No, it's part of the original scope, but it's the major problem on this road is financial.
Mr. Mwakwata, however, says government will do everything possible to see the completion of the project.
There are so many projects scattered across the nation, started by the previous government, and they have all stalled for lack of payment, and it's across the nation. No, all over. No, that is why I am giving the assurance that the current government, under the leadership of His Excellency the President, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, is leaving no stone unturned, to ensure that contractors are paid, and we have paid so much within this short period that we came to power. Yes, so payment is going to be arranged, but I will urge you, that you, the consultants, the contractors, all of you should work very diligently, when we start releasing monies to you, because from now onwards, we want to ensure value for money, we want to ensure quality infrastructure.
From Kumasi, for Joy News, Ohiminteria reporting.
Meanwhile, Roads Minister Akwesi Amwakwata has ordered 4 traffic islands on the Kumasi-Ejise stretch of the main Kumasi-Accra road to be removed for free flow of traffic. He wants traffic lights installed to replace those at the roundabouts he describes as problematic. He gave the directive on the first leg of a 3-day working visit to the Ashanti region. Ohiming Terrier again.
The traffic islands are part of design of a 394 billion cedis Danish government-funded reconstruction of the 46-kilometer Kumasi-Konongo Road in 2004. Contrary to expert claim, they are for safety purposes. The structures have become a major cause of heavy vehicular traffic and road crashes. At least 2 accidents, especially involving cargo trucks, occur around one island or the other each week. The Ghana Highway Authority has turned deaf ears to persistent appeal for motorists and commuters to clear them. Mr. Mwakwata, who led a team of engineers to inspect the road, concludes the roundabouts have outlived their usefulness.
And at the moment, we think that the facility has outrun its usefulness. Engineering review has proven that we can remove them, and there couldn't be any appropriate occasion to give that directive than now. Particularly as I am here on official visit and with the presence of all the people that I have mentioned, including the regional minister who is in charge of this region, I am therefore directing my chief director and all the directors of agencies that within the next 2 months, at least before the end of the year, all these 4 roundabouts should be removed.
Ashanti Regional Minister Simon Osei-Mensah is excited by the Roads Minister's directive.
With the heavy trucks, the articulated trucks, it's very difficult for them to initiate the curbs. And when you get about 2-3 articulated trucks following each other, I'm telling you to block the whole road, and it can take close to 1 hour or even more before you can get away from these roundabouts. And at times they also have a lot of accidents. Most of the heavy trucks, when they are turning, then they roll over and then they block the whole road, causing serious traffic, and then these fatal accidents, killing several people. We are very happy that today this problem, by the end of the year, God willing, is going to be a thing of the past.
From Kumasi, for Joy News, Ohimintewia reporting.
To the central region now, where a mother of a 4-year-old girl defiled by a community member at Assin Adadientem is calling for justice. The distressed mother of the little girl is also accusing the local chief in the area of obstructing justice. Now, the chief told her, and now she alleges that the chief told her the action cannot be taken against the accused because the community gods say the suspect is innocent. Mother of the child, Monica Nyako, is also contesting the age of the accused, who she says is more than 16 years. Joy News' Maxwell Agbagba has been speaking to the mother of the child in Assin Fosu, the central region, and has come through with this report.
Girl is unable to stand. She looks very pale with the bandage from the intravenous therapy still on her left hand. Monica Nyako tells me she had left home for a funeral in the community when the incident happened. She discovered what happened when she decided to bath her daughter.
I was bathing my daughter sometime around 7 p.m. Just when I was about to wash her private parts, she told me not to do it because she was feeling pains there. I asked her what happened, and she said one Kwabena had sex with her in a toilet facility. I asked her where her 8-year-old sister was before the incident happened. She told me Kwabena sent her sister to go and get him coconuts and further warned my daughter not to respond when her sister calls, otherwise he will kill her with a stick. He carried her on his shoulder after the act and dropped my daughter behind our house. My daughter bled for about 3 days. I can show you the diapers we were forced to buy for her, and it is full of blood. She couldn't pass urine, but by God's grace, she has been able to do that now.
I'm currently stepping out of the St. Francis Xavier Hospital. The 4-year-old girl was hospitalized in this facility where we are told that she bled for many days. Her mother, Monica Nyako, tells me that when the case was reported to the chief of the community, he says they've taken the issue to a deity. But the deity says the boy who has been accused of raping 4-year-old Jessica is actually innocent.
One of the local chiefs in the community says they took the boy to the village deity, and the gods said the accused person did not commit the acts.
I've now met Oscar Dazi. Oscar is a local journalist in Assin Fosu. He tells me rape is very common in the municipality. He has been recounting some recent cases.
This incident is very rampant here. For instance, let's even forget the previous years and let us cast our mind from this year, beginning of this year till now. We visited a similar incident which occurred at a town called Assin, what they call it, Haiti, in which a teacher defied 3-year-old girl, and it even came to Asnacon for the police station. And Within a week time, same incidents occurred at Assin Latte, near Assin Kushia in Oronchimai Parliamency, in which a 7-month-old baby girl, was defiled by his own senior brother, who's 24 years. All the instances I'm giving occurred just this year. In this same year, Assin Adadientem, 13-year-old girl who was a student, was also defiled by a man who was about 52 years, 13-year-old girl. Assin Adadientem, which is also in Assin South, about 50-year-old girl, was raped by his own stepfather in a bush in which they were going to tap a palm wine. When the incidents occur, most occasions some of the traditional leaders used to plan, sit down, try to settle it, in which some of them don't even come to the police station. Assin Fusu, that is the capital town of the municipality, just last 3 weeks, 14-year-old girl, who was going to palm fufu on some local machine that we usually use in palming fufu to a certain guy who is about 32 years, called her, planning of giving something to her to give in to her mother, and accidentally forced her, raped her on a bare floor on a veranda. Same incidents occurred at Assin, Kumasi, Assin Mansu rather, in which 13-year-old girl who was selling ice cream. That day there was a celebration of some occasion named Heritage Village Emancipation. Yes. When that lady was sent to go and sell ice cream, 3 guys called that lady in a gang rape. They raped the lady till she collapsed. And they accidentally carry her, go and throw her in a bush. With life, in which he didn't, in fact, the lady did not die instantly. But after they realized that the situation was so critical, they carried her, dumped her in a bush, and accidentally, the girl lost her life. And before we had access to that information, her body was even in the process of decaying. And just last 2 days too, a certain girl, she is about 16 years, and according to the eyewitness, that lady was going to dump refuse somewhere. So a certain guy who is about 35 years old called her inside her room, kidnapped her for 2 good days. And according to eyewitness, the girl was raped for that particular 3 days with no food. And when the guy realized that the situation was getting worse, he tried to kill the girl. So he took a mosquito net, tied the neck of the lady, hung it in his own room, the scene in his own room, pushed the chair in a way of forcing her to commit suicide. So in the process, the lady fell down, and out of the noise which came out, people came to rescue the boy, in which the girl, in which the suspect has taken to his cell now. This occurred just last 2 days.
Quite a disturbing story there. Now, moving to other parts of the country, the Krachirua of the Krachi traditional area, Nana Mprabesemuno III, has stressed that he would commit all resources available to ensure the proposed creation of a new region out of the Volta region comes to fruition. He explained that the development gap between the northern and southern parts of the region necessitated their call for the new region to ensure their area receives enough resources for development. Nana Mprabesemuna says he said these when the Volta Regional Minister Archibald Lecha paid a courtesy call on him at his palace in Kete Krache in the Krache West District. Dr. Lecha was on a working tour of the northern part of the Volta region.
All we want, we are pleading with our people in Volta region. This is a savior project. So instead of ranting and we're talking about irrelevant things, let us see how we know that by all means there will be hurdles. But as good leaders, as good chiefs who are interested in development, if we are sincerely interested in development for the region, as good chiefs, what we should be doing together collectively is to see how we can overcome the hurdles that are constitutional hurdles. I think that is what we should be doing. Rather than finding ways to divide the thing on the basis of names, and so on and so forth. We don't care which name, all we want is our region.
That's right.
All we want is our region. So these are distractions by people who don't want the thing to succeed. We are saying from here, those of us in the 8 district assembly areas that have teamed up, we said we want OT because it was a personal initiative we undertook at that time. We came together, we wanted a region, and we wanted the region to be known as OT region. It was a personal initiative. It wasn't a government initiative at that time. So those of us who came together had to get a name for the project, and we said OT. And let me also say clearly here that the noises some people are making about this thing is childish. Our forefathers were called, they named Volta region, isn't it? We don't know what went into it, but they set the example of naming areas by rivers. We didn't name Volta region. It's Volta region collectively. We don't know how it came about. I don't know. But we started by naming the area as Volta. Is it not the river? And if you are saying that, all right, then let's divide the region. By the example of our forefathers, they named an area by river. The next important river in the area is Oti. If we are following that example, ours is wrong. Ours is tribal. When we were naming it Volta, was it wrong? Was it tribal? So we were carrying out that initiative. That is why we named it. But if now government has taken over, government, if it's following a certain pattern, like we are, somebody was drawing my attention, we have upper west, upper east, we have
Western west.
Where
Western
the new ones they are creating. Western south, western so and so and so. If that is the pattern, why should we be worried? I don't think this should be a hurdle that we should be using in an argument like this. Otherwise, then we don't value the project. If by naming it Volta North, people in the south will now understand and stop the campaign against this thing, we shall name it. If that is their problem. But I don't think that is their problem. The problem is being created, you know, to abort what they have.
And that's it for this bulletin of Joy News today. Log on to myjoyonline.com for more stories. Thanks for joining us. I am Daniel Daz.